Ford recently made waves by announcing a shift in its electric vehicle strategy, signaling a significant pivot from its earlier all-electric ambitions toward a more hybrid-focused future. This strategic adjustment, which mirrors the approach of Toyota, is Ford's response to a complex and rapidly evolving automotive market. Marked by economic pressures, consumer hesitation around full electrification, and aggressive competition from both traditional automakers and EV-first companies, scaling back on EVs. Ford has scaled back several high-profile EV initiatives, including its highly anticipated three-row all-electric SUV. This move, alongside a delay in the launch of the next generation of its flagship electric pickup truck, the F-150 Lightning, now pushed to 2027, reflects a growing recognition within Ford that the financial realities of the EV market are more challenging than expected. In 2023 alone, Ford's electric vehicle division, known as Model e, reported losses of $4.7 billion, a figure that starkly highlights the economic strain Ford is under as it tries to expand its EV footprint. Rather than continuing to pour billions into a market with unpredictable consumer uptake and formidable competition from Chinese manufacturers, Ford is now slowing down investments. This includes a $12 billion reduction in planned EV spending, as it rethinks capital allocation and prioritizes financial discipline, shifting to hybrid technology. In light of these challenges, Ford is now leaning into hybrid technology as a bridge to an eventual all-electric future. CDO Jim Farley emphasized the need for balance, acknowledging that while Ford is bullish about the long-term future of electric vehicles, the company must also respond to the more immediate demands of the market. Ford's focus on hybrids allows it to capitalize on growing consumer interest in vehicles that combine the efficiency of electric power with the reliability of internal combustion engines. This pivot is not an abandonment of Ford's electrification goals, but rather a strategic recalibration. Hybrids offer advantages such as lower costs, less reliance on large batteries, and flexibility for consumers who may not be ready to commit to fully electric vehicles due to concerns over range and charging infrastructure. For Ford, this means introducing hybrid versions of popular models like the Ford Explorer and Expedition, which align with the automaker's goal of addressing larger vehicle segments while maintaining profitability. Ford's decision to refocus on hybrids also reflects a broader trend among traditional automakers who are grappling with the aggressive pace of EV adoption in the global market. While companies like Tesla, Rivian, and BYD continue to dominate the electric vehicle space, legacy automakers like Ford face stiffer competition. Chinese automakers in particular are rapidly advancing in battery technology and manufacturing efficiency, making it harder for companies like Ford to compete on price and production scale. Moreover, consumer sentiment around EVs is still mixed, with many buyers hesitant to transition fully due to depreciation concerns, high upfront costs, and a still developing charging infrastructure in many regions. For instance, recent reports have highlighted how some electric models, like the Mercedes-Benz EQE, are depreciating at a shocking rate, further adding to buyer reluctance. Ford's financial health is a driving factor behind its revised strategy. With losses mounting in its EV division, the company is cutting back on expensive projects and taking special non-cash charges to account for its restructuring efforts. In 2023, Ford announced that it would reduce its EV spending from 40% to 30% of its total investment budget, signaling a broader shift toward prioritizing profitability over ambitious but costly electric projects. However, this does not mean Ford is abandoning the EV market altogether. The company still has significant plans for electrification, particularly in the commercial vehicle sector. For example, Ford is developing a new electric commercial van slated to enter production by 2026, and it continues to advance battery production capabilities in key locations like Michigan and Kentucky. Additionally, Ford remains committed to electrifying its lineup in the long term, with projects like the mid-size pickup from its California Skunk Works team and the delayed T3 electric truck still in the pipeline. These efforts, however, are being approached with more caution as Ford seeks to strike a balance between innovation and financial stability. Ford's pivot toward hybrids is part of a larger trend across the auto industry. Automakers like Volkswagen, GM, and Honda are similarly reassessing their EV strategies, with many opting to develop hybrids or plug-in hybrids as an intermediate step. This approach reflects a growing recognition that while the future is undoubtedly electric, the path to get there requires a more measured transition. Hybrids offer a way to bridge the gap, providing consumers with the environmental benefits of electric driving without the range anxiety and infrastructure limitations associated with fully electric vehicles. For Ford, the challenge will be to navigate this transition without falling behind its competitors in the all-electric race. With companies like Tesla continuing to push forward with groundbreaking innovations and new models, Ford risks being outpaced if it cannot balance its hybrid focus with continued progress in the EV space. As Ford transitions toward hybrids and recalibrates its electric vehicle EV strategy, the auto industry is entering a pivotal phase. The company's shift from its initial electrification goals, symbolized by the delayed F-150 Lightning and the scrapping of a significant 3-row SUV project, signals that both consumer preferences and the market's economic realities are more complex than initially anticipated. However, this decision isn't happening in isolation, and it reflects broader trends in the automotive industry as legacy automakers wrestle with balancing innovation and profitability. While the promise of fully electric vehicles has captivated much of the auto industry and public discourse, Ford's decision to pull back on its EV rollout stems in part from significant technological and infrastructural hurdles. For one, battery technology remains a limiting factor. Despite rapid advancements, the cost of batteries remains high, and their production requires significant investments in both material supply chains and specialized manufacturing facilities. Ford, like many automakers, is also encountering challenges in building out EV charging infrastructure, an essential factor in consumer adoption. While EV technology has matured significantly, the infrastructure needed to support mass-market electrification still lags, creating a barrier for consumers in regions where charging stations are sparse. Additionally, concerns over battery life, range limitations, and charging times have made consumers cautious about fully adopting electric vehicles. For large automakers like Ford, these factors create an uncertain return on investment. The delays and changes in the company's EV plans, therefore, are not just about profitability, but also about ensuring the infrastructure and technological support systems are in place before committing further resources. One of the major external pressures driving Ford's strategic shift is the intense competition in the global EV market, particularly from China. Chinese automakers have made remarkable advancements in battery technology and electric vehicle production. Companies like BYD and NIO are leading the charge with cost-effective, technologically sophisticated EVs, making it difficult for traditional automakers to compete without similar levels of efficiency. This competitive pressure is exacerbated by the sheer volume of electric vehicles being produced in China, where state subsidies and government policies have accelerated the country's position as a global leader in EV manufacturing. Moreover, automakers like Tesla and Rivian continue to set the standard for EVs in the US market, with Tesla's domination in innovation scale and price reductions acting as a benchmark that legacy manufacturers struggle to match. Tesla's aggressive pricing strategies, bolstered by its early dominance in the sector, make it harder for companies like Ford to carve out a competitive advantage in the EV market. For instance, Tesla's ability to vertically integrate its battery production and reduce costs has forced competitors like Ford to rethink their approach to electrification. In response to these market forces, Ford's decision to focus on hybrids allows it to cater to a broader audience, one that includes buyers hesitant to fully commit to EVs. This strategic pivot acknowledges that while full electrification may be the future, hybrids offer a more immediate path to profitability, customer satisfaction, and market relevance. Ford's EV strategy is also shaped by government policies and regulatory pressures. In the US, federal initiatives like the Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, incentivize automakers to produce EVs domestically, particularly through tax credits aimed at promoting local battery production and reducing dependence on foreign suppliers. Ford's plans to move its Mustang Mach-E battery production from Poland to Michigan by 2025 is a direct response to these incentives, which seek to boost the competitiveness of American-made EVs in a global market dominated by countries like China. However, Ford's hybrid strategy may also be informed by regulatory shifts abroad, particularly in Europe. The European Union has been progressively increasing emissions regulations and penalties for automakers that do not meet stringent climate targets. While hybrids provide an immediate reduction in emissions, they do not completely eliminate tailpipe emissions, raising questions about how long this bridge technology will remain viable under tightening regulations. For Ford and other automakers, balancing the push for immediate profitability with long-term regulatory compliance is a delicate dance. And that concludes today's video. Do let us know what you think about today's discussion in the comments section below. Like, subscribe, and activate the bell notification icon so you'd always know when we put out new content. Take care, and see you in the next video.